Good evening and welcome to KMTV. I'm Nicola Everett. Your top stories tonight. Tributes pour in for Maidstone scaffolder. Ashford outlet to double. And the Gills hope to get back on track. But first this evening, tributes have been paid to a 38-year-old father who died after falling from scaffolding at Maidstone TV studios. Jem Collins has more.
Justin Newitt fell about 15 feet from scaffolding whilst working at the Maidstone studios early yesterday morning, and despite being rushed to hospital afterwards, died later that day. Tributes have now been flooding in on social media for the father of two from Maidstone, including from his partner Gemma Webb, who said he was the most amazing man she'd ever met and her soulmate. His nephew also paid tribute to him, saying 1 minute he was working with him and the next he was gone. A spokesman from Maidstone Studios has said their sincerest condolences go to the family and his friends, and that they'll cooperate fully with any investigation.
A manhunt is underway in Medway after a woman had acid thrown in her face in Southampton. It's believed Billy and Jeffrey Midmore may now be in the Medway area after a 37-year-old woman was attacked by a group of people at around 9 p.m. on Friday. She was taken to hospital and had to be treated for burns to her face, neck and arms. An overturned caravan caused long delays on the M25 this afternoon. 2 lanes were blocked on the clockwise carriageway between Orpington and Sevenoaks at around 2 o'clock following the accident. Police, paramedics, firefighters and Highways England are at the scene. No serious injuries have been reported. Ashford's designer outlet is set to double in size as planning proposals to add 38 new shops have been given the go-ahead. Samantha Williams from our Ashford office has the details.
Around 14 new shops and 7 restaurants will open in Ashford when the designer outlet expands. Planning permission was granted last night to almost double the size of the shopping centre, which will create around 500 extra jobs. However, restrictions have been placed on owners MacArthur Glen on exactly what and cannot open there. Restaurants such as TGI Fridays and Nando's are on the banned list, while retailers such as Gucci and Dior are on the approved list. With the expansion going ahead and new jobs coming to the area, we went to find out what the people on Ashford's High Street think of the project.
The outlet brings coaches in, doesn't it, now? So, I mean, it's going to bring a lot more people.
The town, this town centre needs a revamp as well. It seems abandoned, loads of shops closing down.
There are lots of us of my age who remember Ashford when it was a very successful town, and we'd like to see it still is to some extent, but we'd like to see that again, I think.
3 police officers involved in the controversial arrest of a shoplifter are back at work and will face no further action. PC's Brett Wright, Daniel Short and Geoffrey Keane were all suspended by Kent Police after CCTV footage emerged of them restraining Jack Harbour in October 2013. The 4-minute clip, which was leaked on YouTube, showed PC Wright punching Harbour twice in the head. But in July last year, a judge ruled there was insufficient evidence to proceed with the case. 2 brothers have been jailed after a double stabbing at a Chinese takeaway in Sittingbourne. Jake Kurzweil repeatedly punched and headbutted shop attendant Sarah Lou outside the Magic Wok in Sittingbourne's East Street. His brother Kieran raced to the scene and stabbed 2 men who tried to come to her aid. And finally, Gill's boss Justin Edinburgh is hoping to get his side back on track this weekend after their unbeaten run came to an abrupt end. Jem Collins has more.
It was a start to the season that fans could only have dreamt of, with 7 games unbeaten and the top spot on the league table. But it all came to a rather untimely end last week after the Gills lost 2-1 away to Colchester. Manager Justin Edinburgh, though, remains unfazed and says they're raring to go for their next clash against Barnsley on Saturday.
It was tough to take. I think obviously one that, it'd been a long while in the league since we had been tasted defeat. But 2, as I said, I think you know, if we played that game another 9 times, I think we'd win it more than we lost. So that added to the frustration. So yeah, of course we'll be looking to bounce back, and I think that would be a test and another challenge to the team to see how we respond and get back on track.
This is Jem Collins at Priestfield for KMTV.
Now let's just have a quick look at the weather before we go. Make sure to wrap up warm tonight. It's going to feel a bit chillier than recent nights. Expect between 14 to 16 degrees the lows across the county, with some strong winds closer to the coast. Tomorrow is looking a little brighter though. We'll have cloudy skies with occasional sunshine and temperatures closer to 20 degrees. That's all from us this evening. We'll be back tomorrow. Good night.